Flotsam and Jetsam is when we go to the islands and we pick up a heap of rubbish, which is called Flotsam and Jetsam. We started it 4 years ago, and we go to the islands and we take a team of volunteers. The first year we took 17 people, and there was a lot of rubbish. We filled a 75-foot boat and we brought it back to town. We put it on the wharf the next day, and all the local people came down, took it away and turned it into art. What you're seeing on the wall, people have used all the rubbish we brought back in and put it out there. Picking up the boring things like floats, which there's a lot of. You know, you still got to pick it up, but you just think, oh, it's just going to go to rubbish, it's not going to go as part of the exhibition. And so what was exciting this year was that people have actually started using them and incorporating carving.
The museums in Perth, they have these wonderful, beautiful old Jarrah display cases with glass fronts and skeletons of fish and birds and lizards and dogs and cats and that type of thing, and they're all been really cleverly mounted, and they've always just intrigued me, and I just love them, and that's where the main inspiration for this came from, and I just thought to use the floats to create that. I just love the whole concept. I worked and lived on the Abrolhos Islands for about 22 years in the fishing game, and I love the place. And I've spent a heck of a lot of time over there, and I sort of just think that's a great thing to do, you know, to remove that stuff from the island. But then you've got the double benefit with the art side of it. It's just a wonderful thing to have a competition and like an exhibition like that, so that people can showcase what you can do with recycling.
I've been at the gallery for 18 months. My first Flotsam and Jetsam was last year. There was a lot of rubbish on the wharf. We pretty much took up the whole fuel berth with garbage. And then the people started to flood in, and I'm like, who are these people? And the artwork came in and I was just amazed. I'm not a very creative person. So for me, to see floats become fish or rope that I would throw in the bin become artwork is just pretty amazing.
I brought 2 pieces in Pia's first exhibition, which hang in my house in Perth, and every time someone walks in, they comment, wow, that's different, and I say, yeah, it's rubbish. And they say, rubbish, what do you mean? And yeah, I think the concept of the whole story is amazing.
I teach art from home, so I have about 60 kids a week that come through. I spent 13 years teaching on the islands, and Minna was there till she was about 3 or 4. We'd go out and load up and come home, and old songs was one of my favourite things. I love the way they decay, and so I collected them, and they've been sitting there for a reason. I didn't know what it was, and then yeah, I just had the idea when this exhibition came up that I would give each of the students a song and they could turn it into some sort of bird. That was the prerequisite, and what they came up with then was their interpretation. I guess it really portrays the creativity of kids.
So lots of creatures which live in the ocean might think that they're fishes or crayfish and eat them, and they might come sick.
It's so much nicer to be made into art, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get Carl Monaghan to photograph each piece high definition, so he does a beautiful job. So then it can go into a beautiful coffee table book, and then people actually get to have a permanent memory of their artwork.
For anybody that gets involved in the exhibition, they have a fantastic time looking at this amazing stuff. And one of the other things that the competition does, that it allows all ages to take part, and nobody gets rejected. You know, it's all part and parcel of the event. There's no big money gets made out of any of this stuff. It's not about making money, it's about people. And I think that that's what's really, really important, and that's what drives me to being involved. It really is just all about people and young people, and we see some amazing work.
Everything goes on display, which is great. That means everyone from little kids with their efforts right through to adults and accomplished artists, everyone has a go, and I think that's great.
It's the journey and the process and the coming together, and I mean, you couldn't move in here on opening night. It was absolutely chockers, which says a lot too for the fact that it brings people together. It's brilliant. I'll definitely be involved in it. Us, that's it. We're in.
When I look around, I think, oh, why wouldn't they sell it? You know, we could have sold that for them, but it's not about the money. It's more about the journey they took in creating their piece, which makes me feel good when they have a good time doing it.